You are looking live here in beautiful Salt Lake City here for the DNA Sports Recap. On today's episode, we will be discussing college football. What is it? Where are we going with this one?
Let's say, who is the true contender in the Big-10 conference?
That's right. In NHL, we have another signing that the Utah Hockey Club made. Is it an underrated signing? Let's go ahead and talk about it. With the Utah Jazz, we do have some additional information on more trade offers for Larry Markkinen. We're going to break that down. And in Major League Baseball, Dylan Cease throws a no-hitter for the San Diego Padres.
Crazy.
That is crazy. With the trade deadline coming up, what
does each of our teams need in the most recent in the current trade deadline?
I like it. All that and more with my name.
First time.
First try, guys. With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And you are looking live on the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
We're back.
We are back. And not necessarily better than ever, but hopefully we'll do a good job.
No, we're better than ever.
That's right.
Absolutely. Every week we get better, man.
Every week.
If you want proof, go back to like our very first episode and watch me stumble over words and not even know where I'm at.
I don't know.
Absolutely horrendous.
I don't know if you've caught this. Remember that running joke we have in the beginning of our episodes about how you repeat everything I ask you back?
You mean how I repeat everything you ask you? It's so funny.
Have you noticed recently in the videos that whenever you say something
you've been repeating everything.
I've been repeating it.
It's full circle.
I'm just
telling you, man. It's
like,
going
wait a
full
minute,
circle.
who's repeating stuff now? Is that me? I think I'm repeating stuff.
It's just fun.
It's
just fun. It's for clarification purposes only. Okay.
Yeah.
And also in the previous episodes, it was only because I was nervous and didn't know what actually to say.
Oh, yeah.
Like I wasn't comfortable being in front of a camera yet. Like, why is he filming me? I'm just trying to talk.
It was his camera too at the time,
That's true. It was.
Remember we shot this on a GoPro and we had to the batch
GoPro,
it every 20 minutes.
GoPro was a nightmare.
Oh my gosh. It was good times.
Yeah, we're changing batteries. That was before our live days, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, if you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel, you'd be surprised at how useful just your cell phone is as a camera.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Pay for some streaming software.
Yeah, we need to do a how-to video one of these times about how we do everything for DNA here. I think that would, let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know if you want to see a video on the set here, how we built the set, how we shoot our videos, and everything that we use as far as gear, so you can get a good idea of that. Let us know if that's something you want us to see. If you guys want to see. Once again, folks, this is a live show. If you're watching us live on YouTube, we do this every week. If you're watching us on the live stream, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Please feel free to chime in on anything we're talking about. And yes, do it. Already, Tammy's chiming in on that. Yes, do it. She wants to see that video for sure. We'll definitely jump on that because I think that would be a good one there. But yeah, once again, folks, we want to hear from you in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, or if you have any comments on what we're talking about. We'd love to engage with you as we go here for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our first subject, shall we?
Oh, yeah. I've been ready for this one. We're back into college football. We're like 40 days away from college football starting again.
Yeah, we were off a little bit last week. We talked saying, fall camp opens up in a couple of weeks. No, it's this
next week.
Yeah, it's next coming week. Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, we were a little off on that. So yeah, so this is now officially our preseason college football predictions. So which will be pretty awesome.
Got some good stuff coming too.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the first one, which actually is going to be the Big-10 predictions, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're trying to get down to who is the actual college football playoff contender in the Big-10 conference. We're going to name 3 teams each. We're going to do, and just for the record here, we do not disclose who we rank and why.
No,
right? We do them individually. So if they're the same, it's purely by choice or purely by chance. I'm sorry. And we're going to go with the dark horse, who's the runner-up in the conference, and then who we believe is going to be the conference champion that has an automatic bid to the college football playoff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be awesome because mine's going to be completely different from the video that we did before.
Oh, you mean the video you got absolutely hammered in?
Yes, dude. Oh my gosh. Big Ten fans.
That was a brutal video for Darren.
Big Ten fans, I love you guys to death. You are the most passionate fan base of any college football.
Yeah, and you were not scared to tell Darren he's an idiot.
Yeah, you were not afraid to tell
Guy on the left, you're an idiot.
Yeah, which didn't even bother to learn my name or anything. That's good. That's good. But no, it's perfect because, actually it was a preseason. It was a shot in the dark. I didn't know much about the Big Ten, and I, wanted to make sure I ranked it based off of, just simply math. And now
there was statistical data for everything that you predicted.
Yeah, statistical data. Who had the best who had the best trade portal deadline acquisition moves? Who had the most longevity when it comes to their offensive line, defensive line?
Yeah.
As far as their quarterback rankings and all that stuff. I put a lot of math into that stuff. And yeah, just because one of the team happened to be Rutgers, everybody just rang me through the ringer. They're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Safe to say, folks, Rutgers is not on my list this week.
Weird.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to start with a dark horse. I'll go ahead and start with my dark horse. But before I do that, I do want to make an honorary mention.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. I would not be surprised to see Penn State sneak in as they are as far as across the board, they are in the top 5 in preseason rankings. Penn State
absolutely.
They also don't have, this is the key thing. I was back and forth on my dark horse between this and Penn State because of this reason. Penn State does not play Ohio State or Michigan this year.
That's great. That's a big help.
And they also have had back-to-back years of 11-win seasons, both the last 2 years. So don't be surprised if Penn State comes out of it. I'm just saying that one's going to be kind of my gimme, not necessarily my prediction, not my dark horse, not my runner-up, not my winner, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Penn State.
Honorable mention. Honorable mention. I did not prepare an honorable mention.
Yeah, it's okay. I had to either go one way or the other. Is my dark horse or this one? And I'm just like, you know what? If I just mention Penn State, then I'll feel better about my dark horse.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get into it.
Okay, so my dark horse is Michigan.
Ooh, I love it.
So Michigan has been undefeated. They went undefeated last year, even with Harbaugh being suspended for half the season. Their coach in waiting, basically, because of the suspension, is now the head coach of that team. They were undefeated last year. They also have, they basically have a lot of talent returning, and they also have a lot of their coaching staff returning on the offensive side. However, they did lose a lot of their defensive staff, and they do have to break in a new quarterback. Like the whole head coach thing, I figured like that's not too much of a deal because Harbaugh only coached half the season last year.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of I don't see them as like a front runner or my winner, but I definitely see them still as a potential dark horse candidate to win the Big Ten Conference.
I love it. My dark horse is actually also Michigan.
Okay.
Yep. So, I mean, I think head coach Sharon Moore, he's got his work cut out for him, right? And that's why I have him as a dark horse and not even close to a runner-up. The Big Ten just brought in a whole lot of talented Pac-12 powerhouse teams. They brought in Oregon, they brought in USC, they brought in Washington, they brought in UCLA.
Right.
These are all really good football programs. And I understand the Big Ten Conference is fantastic. There's a lot of talent top to bottom. But it just got a whole lot tougher, right? It got a whole lot tougher for this Michigan team. I do think they're going to be up for the fight, honestly. I
agree.
I mean, they are sporting the number 19 recruiting class from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And they did just win a national championship. So, you've got a lot of players on this roster that are going to be, they're going to be eager to get playing time and to prove that they are still Michigan that just won a national championship. I just say, watch out for Michigan. Come that top 12 playoff time, this team could be sneaking in there.
Yeah.
So
I do see them being a shot if the top spot in the conference is more than a one-loss team.
Yeah.
The top two are going to be a 1 or 2 loss team. I definitely think Michigan's got a huge shot at pulling it off. So
absolutely,
definitely agree with you there. Do you want me to hit you up with my runner-up, or do you want to?
Yeah, you go runner-up, man.
Okay, my runner-up is Oregon.
Oh no. Okay. Tell me why.
Oh no.
Oh no. Let's hear it.
What does "oh no" mean?
Oh no.
Oh no. Like means he doesn't agree with my ranking. Okay. Dude, are you my first commenter that's gonna bash me and tell me I'm an idiot? Is that what we're doing here?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, first of all, the reason why I have them as a runner-up is, well, first of all, they're going to be the only team outside of my expectations for Utah to rank this high as going into a new conference.
Right.
That's why I have them. I do have them so high. Now they are. Dan Lanning is going to be coming off of a season where I only had 2 losses, and both of those were to Washington.
Yes.
Okay. Now that's the kind of that's not a positive, that's a negative for me. There is a lot more talent in the
Big Ten.
in the Big Ten than there was in the Pac-12, and he couldn't figure out a way to beat Washington.
Right. Who Michigan ran over in the national championship.
Exactly my point.
Yeah.
So I think while Dan Lanning has the best shot and has the best opportunity to come into a new conference, and keep in mind, the Big 12 is not the Big 10, right?
Correct.
We both think that Utah's going to run over the Big 12.
Right.
So but I do think Dan Lanning's got a lot stiffer competition than he's going to run into in this one. And I just don't think that for those reasons, because he lost to Washington twice, wasn't able to overcome that. And also Washington got stumped, in the national title game. So it's just kind of, for all those reasons, I have Oregon, but I do believe in Dan Lanning. I do think he's one of the most talented head coaches in college football right now. I would not be surprised to see them win the whole thing next year and also become one of the first national champions in the first 2 or 3 years of this new playoff format. But I do see them as a runner-up this year.
Cool. I like it. That's at least a solid reason. My runner-up is going to be Ohio State.
Okay.
And this team is as talented as ever. And I'm sure this is probably my turn to get all of the Ohio State haters telling me that I'm an absolute idiot, because they do have a ton of quarterback talent, right? They've got 1 true 5-star on their roster, 3 4-star recruits at quarterback. The problem is we don't know how and if that's going to actually transition to success. They've always got talent all the way around them, but they did lose their number 1 and their number 2 receiving options in Marvin Harrison Jr. and Cade Stover. Both of them went obviously to the NFL last year. So Emeka Egbuka will have a whole lot of pressure on him to perform this year. And if they can figure out this quarterback with, whichever one of these super talented quarterbacks they end up landing on, I think they're going to have some problem, kind of figure out some chemistry and stuff, because they don't just have a locked in quarterback that's going into fall camp, right? They've got a quarterback battle going on all the way through fall camp. And sometimes that helps, that's going to slow your progress getting into rhythms throughout the season. And that's kind of one of my concerns with this team. They are ridiculously talented, and they do have an October 12th showdown where they go to Autzen to play Oregon.
Dude,
and that game is going to say everything about where this team actually lands.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Okay. So you have Ohio State as your runner-up.
That is correct.
I have my winner as the Ohio State.
Okay. Tell me why.
So this is definitely one of the most talented teams they've ever had in the history of the school.
Absolutely.
With new legislation that makes it sideline direct to captain on both the offensive defensive end, where you can actually direct communicate, kind of like the pitch comm that they have. They now can communicate directly to those people, and I'll get into why that's important here in a minute, which is a lot for Ohio State fans, because what Ohio State fans will point out is that, let me just jump right to it right now. So what Ohio State fans will point out is that they've only lost to Michigan because over the last 2 years, because Michigan was able to steal the signs.
It's a lot easier to beat a football team when you know what play is coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if you know it's going to be passed and you can drop 7 guys into coverage and only rush 3, your chances of success are much, much higher at that rate.
Yeah. So they'd say that the only reason why they lost to Michigan and again lost the conference, because a lot of this time it came down to one loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ohio State only lost to Michigan because of this issue. They're going to say because of the sign stealing scandal that they had, right?
Yep.
USA Today also ranks Ohio State as the top running back in the country with I think it's called Travion Henderson. They also have the top rated wide receiver in Emeka. What was the last name? Emeka
Egbuka.
Mm-hmm. They also have the top defensive lineman in Donovan Jackson, JT Tayamula. Probably saying that wrong, so my apologies there.
We butcher names. That's what we do here.
And Tyleek Williams. Not to mention, they have the defensive backs. These are top-rated defensive backs by USA Today as well. They have Denzel Burke and Caleb Downs. USA Today also has Ryan Day as the coach of the year over our guy, Dan Lanning. So this is, and again, here's the other piece that people keep forgetting about this Ohio State team, is Chip Kelly's running the offense now.
Oh, that's a great point.
Chip Kelly's running this offense at Ohio State. He gets to focus on solely what he does best, which is X's and O's on the offensive side. So,
That is a fantastic point, actually.
Yeah, he's not.
I
the
did
head
not
coach.
think about the Chip Kelly signing.
Yeah. So, and he's also going to have, and like I said, but this can, to your point, this could all come unraveled in October with the toughest road game they have being in Eugene against the Oregon Ducks there. There are also the 2 weeks after that, they also have to face Penn State on the road.
Right.
So my dark horse, like my honorable mention, can make a mess of this as well. But because of the Chip Kelly thing, because of all the top-rated offensive and defensive players they have on this team, according to USA Today and a few other sources, when it comes to the top-ranked talent in the conference, and also, like I mentioned, the whole side Stilies scandal, which is why they lost to Michigan over the last several years. If Ohio State fans, Michigan fans will probably have a different thought on that, but hey, you're still in my
chime in, Michigan fans. Let us know what you think.
You're still in there, guys. Michigan fans are still in there. Keep in mind, I picked you guys all the way last year. Go back and watch the coverage. I picked you guys all the way last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the reasons why I have Ohio State winning the Big-10 conference this year.
All right. I obviously have the Oregon Ducks as number one in the conference. I think they have a solid chance to win the conference, and it's pretty much due to them picking up Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma. This dude's going to be the front runner to win the Heisman Trophy to start the year. They had, the fact was last year, even if it wasn't for Bo Nix and this Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix having a dream season, Dylan Gabriel was still in, even with all these ridiculous quarterback talent, Dylan Gabriel was still in the Heisman conversation at Oklahoma. This dude is that good. He is super talented. Again, he's going to be an early front runner, right? To be a Heisman Trophy winner. Dan Lanning is, in my opinion, easily one of the top 3 coaches in college football right this minute. Autzen Stadium is a very, very, very tough place to play. Oh, yeah. I think it's going to get much more respect with some of these Big Ten teams coming in here and actually seeing, wow, it gets loud in Autzen. The stadium is designed strictly to be loud. And Oregon is fantastic on both sides of the ball. They're returning a ton of defensive players, a ton of offensive players. This team is really, really scary. Again, that October 12th showdown is going to say a lot about where that conference ends up at. But I think Oregon is built for some of these big moments. And the fact that game is at Autzen and not at the Shoe, I just say advantage Oregon. I think that game being head-to-head and potentially, obviously you're still gonna have to beat them in a conference championship game, but neutral site is much different than having to go to their home stadium. And I think that could be the difference.
Yeah, no, I get you. Dan Lanning really needs to prove the fact that he could beat this, that he's not going to lose the same team twice in 1 year.
Yep.
So that's that was kind of a big variable there for me. And obviously the Chip Kelly thing, but no, I really like it. I actually was surprised that we didn't go 1, 2, 3 like we all were exactly the same. So yeah, I was actually quite appreciative of that, because that makes for terrible content when we both agree all the way down the road.
The fact that we both agreed on Oregon or on Michigan, you're like, oh no,
here we go,
here we go.
Yeah. No, but yeah, no, I love it. Love the picks, man. I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun to watch, fun to follow this season to see who ends up on top for that, for sure. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Who is your runner-up, your dark horse, and your conference champion? Who are your predictions for that? Do we get this wrong? Are we off? We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below.
Chime in, Big Ten fans. We know you guys got it.
Nebraska, let us know, why we kept you out,
Yep.
The one Rutgers fan that had my back last week video.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rutgers fan.
Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Absolutely, let us know what you think. Now, before we move on to that, before we get into content there, folks, we also want to remind you that we are so close to getting to 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Appreciate it.
All right, forgot to say that at the beginning of the video.
I still appreciate it. Either way, hit it then, hit it now, do whatever. We don't, as long as you hit it, we're good.
Yeah, as long as it's an odd amount of times. Don't hit it an even amount of times.
Correct. Yeah.
Because we don't want you to unlike it.
Don't unlike our stuff.
Don't unlike our stuff. So some gauges.
It's rude.
Yeah. It is a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, yeah, great stuff on that, guys. More to come on that. We're gonna do the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12. I don't think the Big 12 is going to change too much.
It's not going to be a surprise.
Yeah. It's not
who we predict the conference champion to be.
We're not homers at all, guys.
No, we're not
at all. Not at all. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and change the color and move on to,
Or just turn it off.
or
That's
just
fine
turn
too.
it off. That works
Yeah.
too. It's the middle button, right?
Yeah. Middle button. Do not hit the don't hit the third button, Darren.
Don't hit the third button.
It goes crazy.
Goes all rainbow up in this.
There we go.
That's the dark blue. We gotta go light blue for the
next chip. There we go.
So we're going to the hockey. Right? Yeah. So where's my mouse? There it is. So what we're going to do here is, once again, folks, before we start talking about your Utah Hockey Club, we want to talk about the newest channel we've launched here at DNA Sports Recap, which is Utah Hockey DNA. This is our content. This is our channel specifically to your Utah Hockey Club. All the content that we post is going to be posted to this channel first. We're going to be posting the full videos about what we talk about Utah hockey on this channel. So a lot of the stuff that we talk about when it comes to your Utah Hockey Club doesn't make the full cut. So if you want to see everything we talked about, make sure you jump on over to Utah Hockey DNA if you're watching this on our main channel. Link to that channel will be in the description below. If you are watching that on this channel, we deeply appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe, or we're giving away one of those sick new Utah Hockey Club jerseys.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into it here. Let's talk about our Utah Hockey Club, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so there's a signing that the Utah Hockey Club made. This one's kind of went under the radar, and we're talking about
it has the Mikhail Sergachev was such a huge signing, and everyone was so excited about because of his defensive ability to play. I feel like the Kevin Stenlund signing kind of went a little under, right?
Yeah, because I mean, this is an offensive player, right? And we're not a team that needed a whole lot on the offensive end, but this guy, Kevin, his skill set is very unique to this team, and we're definitely going to get into that. But let's go ahead and talk about that. Utah signed 27-year-old, 6'4" Stanley Cup winner, Swedish forward Kevin Stenlund. Stenlund was drafted by the Columbus Blue Jackets 58th overall back in 2015.
Yes, sir.
While he gathered the most points of hit that he's had in his career so far last year, it was 15 points, by the way, which is, for those who don't watch hockey, that is 11 goals and 4 assists. He did have a negative 10 on the plus minus in his first in last season, basically.
Okay, and his games played last season.
Yeah, and games played, which is actually a career high. I believe he played 81 or 82 seasons last.
Yeah, he played 81 games last year.
81 games last year. I do see him returning more towards his 2022-2023 form. We actually had a positive plus minus, which was a positive 3 with the Jets in Winnipeg. So I think it's just because it was his first season doing a full season. Because the previous season, I think he was in like 56 games or something like that. And the season before, he didn't break 30 for the whole first part of his career. He didn't break 40 games. I see him returning more to the norm. But explain to us, Utah Hockey Club fans, why this is an underrated signing.
So, I mean, the big reason this signing is so huge is because of his penalty kill statistics, right? So he helped Florida move. So before Florida signed him, previous to last season, they were 23rd overall in the NHL in their penalty kill statistics.
Yeah, 76%.
Yeah. So after they signed him and brought him on, he was this huge push towards penalty kill situations, and he moved them to 6th best in the NHL in penalty kill statistics.
82.5, by the way.
Which is just absolutely crazy. This guy's super reliable in face-off circle winning. He wins 51.5% of his face-offs, which is really good to have him in there in some of those face-off situations. He provides a ton of flexibility to complement. I mean, he's going to play 4th line, so he's going to probably be playing with Spicy Tuna as well as McBain's. Both these guys are really physical, right? We know Spicy Tuna likes to spend a ton of minutes in the penalty box, and McBain's also does, he has a ton of hits as well. So both these guys are really physical, but needed for that 4th line depth. And then it's also great because you can push him out with Sarcone and Kerfoot, along with Stenlund, and also it's a huge push for offensive players. So, it's going to help them obviously create some offense in that 4th line.
No, I think it's great. And for those of you who don't know, if you're following this channel as a intro to the hockey world, into the NHL and the hockey world, why don't you break down what a PK percentage is, penalty kill? Why don't you break down what that is?
I think maybe you should break that down because I don't have that in front of me.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So basically what a penalty kill is simply when a hockey team is in the penalty, right? That
Right.
means they have a person in a penalty box, which means they either have one or two people off the ice. So the other person has a strong advantage to score a goal while the other team has two players off
Right.
the ice. So what a penalty kill is that this player specifically, Kevin Stenlund, what he does is he rose the Stanley Cup champions rank on penalty kill percentage from 76%, which is 3 percentages below the average, which is 79%, up to 82.5. So you can round that up to 83, which basically means on 83% of the penalty situations, their opponent did not score a goal when he was on the floor.
That's insane.
So that is an insane stat. That tells you what difference making this particular signing is, because as we mentioned several times on this channel, we're not the only ones who think this. This is across national media when it comes to this hockey team. This Utah Hockey Club is on the border of becoming a Stanley Cup playoff team.
Yeah.
And having a signing like this guy that can easily defeat. A perfect example is this is in game 3, when they had a 5-3 win over the Lightning, where he had the ability to shut down the Lightning from being able to score on penalty moments when they had a key penalty moments late in that game. So that this signing is basically really kind of pushing that forward to really say, okay, if we think right now we're kind of a fringe playoff contender, having this type of signing and having a guy who has this potential allows us to really kind of push this over that hill if we're right on the edge.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Awesome signing.
I love the pickup and just adding more playoff experience to this Utah Hockey Club, right? He does a lot of the things that are really just underappreciated as far as effort and all that stuff that there's not statistics for. This is that guy. So I don't know. I think it's going to be great to go out and see if he can, help this club get some wins and push him into maybe making a stand, and into making a playoff run.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see our team get into the playoffs the first year. Which would be great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because, if the Jazz do things right, we're not going to be talking about playoffs for a while. So
that is later in this video.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that for sure. Yeah. Another highlight, another plus on our guy there, as far as Kevin goes, is that he actually had the highest shooting percentage of his career last year at 13.6%. A career high also on attempts. So a lot of times like, oh, big deal, maybe just didn't shoot as much. No, he was in double the amount of games he was in the previous season almost, but he had 143 attempts at the net last year.
Taking a lot of shots.
Which is almost a third increase over the previous year. So that is impressive that he increased his efficiency percentage.
Yeah.
So I think that's super awesome, not to mention his unique skill set. So once again, folks, we'd love to hear from you on that one for sure. Let us know in the comments down below what you have there. Let's see here. We've got a comment there from our Pubs. That's a smiley face. Appreciate it. Thank you. Jumping in the comments there. We always love to engage with you guys there for sure. But yeah, so again, let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think on this signing. Is this a sneaky signing underneath? Is this something, nothing, or everything? We think it's a pretty big deal that we got this guy.
Yep.
It's a good signing. So we look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments down below. Once again, folks, we are on the grind with this channel to get to 1,000 subscribers as well. I believe we just crossed, 112.
Yeah.
So once this channel does hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away one of those sick new Utah Hockey Club jerseys that are only going to be available this year. So they will become a collector's items fast. So if you have not yet, if you're watching this channel for its hockey content, make sure that you check out the Utah Hockey Club, Utah Hockey DNA. A link to that channel will be below if you're watching this on the main channel. If you are watching this on Utah Hockey DNA, we appreciate you watching it. Appreciate you finding this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.
Yep. Do it. Make it happen.
Make it happen, Captain. Absolutely. But yeah, so perfect. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to the NBA, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. Let's switch this over. What do you want? What color do you want to go with the Jazz for? Purple?
Purple works.
Purple.
And it was the next click. So that works great.
Yeah. I got the one click magic today.
Yeah. No, not me. I never have that magic.
What are you talking about? Last week, I'm like sitting here clicking for like a half hour trying to get to the right color. And you just I'm like, you do it next time. You're like, click. I'm like,
so funny.
So smooth. So gangster on that.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't listening, for those of you listening on the podcast there on our set, we have a color change light to help with editing when we post videos on YouTube. We can see when we're talking about different things. And so that's basically what we're talking about there.
It helps a lot. If you've done any editing, just being able to skim and see a color change, very helpful.
Very helpful. Oh, and by the way, thank you very much on the podcast side. We actually have something to announce on that. We have the most downloads we've ever seen on the podcast side last week. So that was super cool to see. We love seeing some growing on that.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this on the podcast, a rate review would be helpful. Please subscribe to the channel and let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, please and thank you.
Please and thank you. Like just a proper gentleman right there. Look at that. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about our Utah Jazz, shall we?
Yes.
Before we get into content, folks, we want to remind you that we did just launch Utah Hockey DNA. Sorry.
Utah. Yeah, that one too.
But
this is the new one.
This is the new one.
The second new one.
Second new one. This is Utah Jazz DNA. This is our channel specifically dedicated towards your Utah Jazz. This channel is specifically guarded where all of our Jazz content will be housed. You'll see everything we talk about on the Utah Jazz here first. Not everything that we talk about the Utah Jazz will make a video on our main channel. So if you want to see the full episode about what we talked about on Utah Jazz basketball, you will find it on this channel, Utah Jazz DNA. So if you're watching that on this channel, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. We'll be giving away one of those sick new Utah Jazz black jerseys. So make sure you check out for that once we hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel.
Hit subscribe.
That's right. Hit subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And we'd love to hear from you on the comments. So let us know about that for sure. But once again, folks, that is the channel specifically for the Jazz content. So make sure you check it out. Link in the description if you're watching on DNA Sports Recap.
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and quickly talk about Utah Summer League. What would you say is your main takeaways that you got on Utah Jazz Summer League this year?
Well, I mean, I was really happy to see the rookies all play 4 to 5 games, right? It was good because, last year Taylor Hendricks didn't get a full Summer League. He was kind of hurt. I can appreciate Kyle Filipowski playing in all 5 games. Obviously, Collier and Hendricks and Cody Williams. I'm sorry. So yeah, those 3 guys didn't play in the last game. So I just loved getting able to see all, I love that these guys got an opportunity to play in this game, and all the way through Summer League. We actually got to see some of their skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Filipowski had that monster breakout game, scoring 26 points in that last one over the Pistons.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think he had such a good game against that? It's just simply, does Detroit not have anybody of size? Like, do they have nobody?
I think it was just pure volume, right? Like all of a sudden he was the centerpiece of that offense that they kind of relied on to actually get points from. He did have 11 rebounds. He had some assists in that game. So he was dishing it and actually getting some, kind of being a two-way threat in that game where they had to worry about him passing and shooting. I think it really helped him. It kind of crazy that all of a sudden after that game, all of a sudden you see Bleacher Report articles saying, is this guy the biggest steal in the draft at 32 where he got drafted?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, because of that one game, obviously he was the Jazz points leader over Summer League. He averaged 16.4 over the 5 Summer League games. He did have an extra game. He did have a breakout game. Other than that, it was Cody Williams and his 4. He averaged 15. So these young rookies are really, really fun to watch.
They are.
Every one of them brings something different. That's a little bit different of a spark. Obviously Cody Williams is this freak athlete that can score from all 3 levels.
Who's not athletic, by the way, apparently.
Quote unquote, not athletic. But the dude, he's just silky smooth. He can play. Yeah. I really like Cody Williams. Obviously
he's got everything you can't teach.
Yeah. And you can't teach him to be 6'10", 6'11", right? No. Like he's just a monster.
His ability to read the court and see the spacing and just know to go right at the hole.
Yeah.
And his ability to pass out when he gets trapped in there. Like I watched enough of this guy in Summer League to see, I'm like, okay, I get this. Guy. This guy's got it for sure.
Yeah.
We got a comment there that addresses Filipowski. Can you read that?
Yeah, it says, yeah, I think Flip had a good last game because he had the green light after everyone else got pulled or was quote unquote hurt. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that is exactly
quote,
what happened.
Hurt. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's funny.
Thanks, McKinley. We appreciate you tuning in, man.
Absolutely.
As always. Yeah.
As always. Appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in for sure. Good to have you back, man. 2 weeks in a row. That's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. We appreciate you tuning in and watching us blabber on the internet.
What's your takeaway on what you saw out of Isaiah Collier?
So Collier, I think, was a pleasant surprise, man. I wasn't sure. I knew that he was a downhill scoring guard, right? This guy was known to be ultra aggressive to the hoop. He was strong. He was big bodied. I did not think he was going to lead this Jazz team in summer league assists. 4.5 assists a game. I mean, this dude's he just really brought it.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, and he just continued to bring it. I like how aggressive he was. And there is a video, right, where I said that I thought that he was going to spend some time in the G League developing. And after watching him through summer league, I do not think that's the case.
Yeah.
I think that he's definitely got a chance to make this roster and play in some games. He is going to be the fourth guard on that bench behind, obviously, Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson.
See, that's kind of where I'm thinking at.
He's going to be sunk behind that bench, right? But yeah, I think he's going to get some time, though. I think we're going to see him play. Yeah,
I agree. I think if we does see some time in the G League, that's because and I'll get on to that in a minute here when we talk about other stuff. But yeah, I agree. Isaiah Collier basically played himself into a role.
Yeah,
with the Utah Jazz. The only reason why he's not with the team is with the front management, not the coaching.
And how about the 2.5 steals a game from Collier, dude?
Yeah, that's insane.
He was a really aggressive defensive player, and albeit he's not playing NBA talent yet. This is right. He's not quite there.
No.
But the fact is if you can step onto the floor and play with that much defensive tenacity every single night, you will be on an NBA roster. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and I think he's a great fit for what this team's trying to do when it comes to that. You need a downhill point guard. You need a guy who can read. I think he'd fit perfectly well next to Keontae at the 2.
Yeah.
I don't really think even Danny Ainge doesn't really see Keontae as a point guard. He's basically said as much in interviews. So I can kind of agree with that a little bit. But I don't know, man. I see a lot from him. But the one thing I do want to mention is what's your thought process on Walker Kessler this summer league? I think there's an underlining story there that I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to.
I think that I think it's crazy that Walker Kessler was in summer league this year. This guy, well, he underperformed all of last year, and that's why he's there. But the fact was this guy started a lot of NBA games last year.
Yeah. So with my issue with the Walker Kessler is he wasn't in preseason last year because he was with Team USA for the World Basketball.
Right.
World Basket or Euro Basket, whatever it was. What is it called?
Yeah, it was I think it was Euro Basket last year. Yeah,
something like
FIBA World Cup.
Yeah, one of those ones. And he was with them, so he didn't get a chance to play in summer league last year. But he did start for this team, and he did have a chance to really kind of separate himself. He had a breakout rookie year where we weren't the only ones. It was national pundits said that he was going to be a frontliner for Defensive Player of the Year, and he just had a massive fall off in his second year. And this is definitely kind of the team basically saying, "Hey, you got some work to do.
Yeah,
you got some work to do. Put it in." And I just really think, from what I saw in Walker Kessler out there, he felt like he just didn't really want to even be there. And that really makes me nervous.
In the summer league games, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, he definitely didn't want to be out in summer league. I mean, he thought that he had earned himself, the summer off to keep doing, conditioning and, pretty much training at his own pace through summer league. I definitely don't think he thought that he belonged to be out there. But I think it was quite obvious that he did.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that he performed last season, and I was really excited about Walker Kessler because of his ability to be an offensive player, not so much a defensive player, right? Like he was supposed to be a really polished offensive, he can shoot it from 10 to 15 feet away. He can, he's got a little bit of finesse under the basket. There was a potential that he could, step out and shoot potentially some threes. That is not at all who Walker Kessler is.
No.
And it's not that we had I think what kind of hurt Walker is we did not have a true point guard that you can run pick and roll with.
Yeah.
I mean,
we did his rookie year when we had
Mike Conley. Exactly. And Walker Kessler looked fantastic in that time frame. But when you move away from a true traditional point guard that can run pick and roll and put himself in those situations where he can dive to the basket, create some gravity where people have to respect his size, his agility, he didn't have those situations at all this year. And I think he struggled, but I think the problem is the Jazz have drafted some really athletic guys that can shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
In Taylor Hendricks, who can shoot it. I mean, now Cody Williams, now Kyle Filipowski.
Yeah.
That is the way of the league, right? Is you have these high 6, low 7 foot guys that can all shoot it from anywhere.
Yeah. Explain to me why we couldn't put Larry Markin at the 4. and just replace Walker Kessler.
You absolutely could.
6'11".
Yeah.
You know, who's bigger? Like he's like defensively, like he's stronger than
Oh
Kessler.
yeah.
No, I definitely agree. I think what happened, and you know, McKinley, you could probably answer me this on this one in the comments there. But who did they play where they had that 7-footer that came from not Gonzaga? Who did he come from? But he's a rookie. He's a top 5 draft pick.
Chet Holmgren?
No, this year. Chet didn't play in summer league, did he?
No, he didn't. Oh, you're talking Zach Edey?
Zach Edey. Yeah, that's who it is.
From Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Memphis. Yeah.
Okay.
That guy made. Yep, Ziddy. There you are. Thank you, McKinley.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
on it. You are on it, buddy. Appreciate it. Yep. So just to confirm that.
Great minds think alike.
That's right. But yeah, so I don't know if you watched that game, but you couldn't tell who's coming into their third year.
No.
The NBA on that game.
And that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
You played with NBA caliber players all of last year on an NBA floor. You should be dominating. And if not physically, because you've had 2 years of an NBA trainer, your skill set should be much more advanced.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Zach Edey slipped in the draft. No, I'm not actually sure. I think he actually moved up in the draft.
I think he was picked like 5
He
or
was
6.
drafted a little earlier than they thought.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Still, my point is Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler should be a much better player than Zach Edey in his first year.
Yeah, and like you know, he's a throw-in man. I think I think that's who we were hoping we were gonna. You know, we found a player that we'd like in the draft. I'm sorry, in the trade when we got him. We got Walker Kessler in the. Yeah,
well, dude, we were so excited, and he's such a likable guy, right?
Yeah. So he was in that trade. So he was one of the pieces that we really wanted in the trade, and then we happened to get Larry Markkinen, who we didn't think was going to be amazing in that trade, and that's who we ended up with. So
well, I believe that Kessler came from the Timberwolves trade.
Yeah. No.
And
yes, Kessler came from the
Timberwolves trade from Rudy,
and Larry came from the Cavs. Let's see here. We got another one there. What do you think about the Jazz letting?
I got that in my notes.
Beasley and Lofton go. Yeah, personally, don't care about Lofton. He didn't show me enough growth for me, but I really liked Beasley. Yeah, so, okay. Great point there. Great point. So I will have to say that Lofton had what I call the Ingles gene in him. He was a locker room guy. You know, he was willing to play in the summer league. He started 3 or 4 games for the Jazz last year.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the season. I mean, yeah, he's been there must be something internally that NBA teams see about Kenny Lofton that you don't see as just watching him on the floor. Because on the floor, this dude has skills. He's a great big body. He can go down low. He can shoot it from all 3 levels. But there's something internally that's happening with this guy that he keeps getting waived. I do think the Jazz may sign him. I think a lot of this was salary cap space. I think they are going to probably try to renegotiate the Lauri Markkinen deal, and they wanted the 800 in cap space that they waived with Darius Baisley and Kenny Lofton because they were both guaranteed $400,000, obviously. And with freeing that up, they now got $37.7 million in salary cap, and they have to spend 23.7 by the first day of the regular season to hit the floor.
Right. So we'll link to the comments down below where we discuss in great detail the new CBA and how that affects the teams. That's come up in the comments quite a bit that we don't talk about that enough.
Yeah,
but we did cover it
quite. That's why I added some of the math in there.
Yeah, it's coming in up in the comments. We did cover it quite in depth, but we did think that if we kept talking about it, we'd be a broken record and no one would want to watch it. So we don't really talk about it a lot, but we'll link to that video down below. But anyway, so like you were saying, there's a floor.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a floor. I think they're just trying to make sure that they did free up enough cap space that they can negotiate Lauri's contract to the maximum or whatever they decide to land with him. I could see the Jazz re-signing Lofton and leaving him on the G League team or putting him on a 2-way contract. But again, I don't know what's happening internally with this guy because he has been waived by multiple teams now.
Yeah,
for just that reason.
He's got the IQ though, man. The guy gets it. When I watched this guy in summer league and some of the Jazz games late last year, he understands assignments. He can read a playbook pretty well.
Yeah, and I think McKinley nailed it. I don't know if he's grown that much. I think he is who he is as a player already. I don't know. He doesn't have a ceiling, right? He is that guy.
Right.
And maybe he's not good enough for an NBA roster. And that's the problem is he has no room for growth because he shoots an average percentage from 3. He is just kind of a big guy that doesn't show a ton of defensive effort in a lot of situations. He's not super fast, but he does make good defensive transitions, right? Like he is pretty good at moving, to cover his guys and stuff, but he doesn't show a ton of effort going up or trying to block shots or anything like that. So I don't know. I liked Kenny Lofton. I was kind of surprised to see them waive him because I did like him and I really liked Baisley.
Yeah, I was disappointed to see that.
I was really disappointed to see the Baisley.
Summer League, man. Yeah, he's made a couple mistakes. I mean, he made a lot of bad play decisions out there, like some bad shot attempts
and some terrible passes, man. There was times where I was just like, what did you see on that play? Like, you're not playing high school ball anymore. You have to throw the ball with some authority.
Yeah, just some lofty stuff that people just picked out of the air. Now, yeah, so I was surprised to see Baisley get waived. I thought that he had a lot of talent. I think his top of the key lockdown 3-point shooting that he has was going to be clutch for this team because we have corner threes all day long from people like Larry and and I believe that the guard we have, what's his name?
And Baisley had 1.7 blocks a game.
Yeah, defensively
during summer league.
Yeah, I think he'd be. Yeah, that's we're severely lacking in defense.
Yeah, 5 rebounds, 1.7 blocks. I mean, he was in the leaders for the whole team. For summer league. So I'm kind of surprised.
I am too.
And that's one of those things where you don't, Kenny, the only thing that Kenny Lofton was in, he did have 1.3 steals and 4.3 rebounds. Again, both these guys were top 5 performers in some of these categories during summer league. So I'm with you. It had to be a cap space move.
It had to be.
They must be figuring out. I'm assuming they're narrowing down where they need to be to either sign a player or sign Laurie and make a decision to move forward. We're all just hoping that it happens sooner than later because this is getting out of hand.
Well, we do have an unofficial trade deadline, which we'll talk about here. Let's go ahead and pivot into that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Larry Markkinen. So this is according to Brett Siegel. The Spurs have shown willingness to part ways with multiple first-round picks as well as Kelton Johnson as a part of a potential deal to land Larry Markkinen for the San Antonio Spurs. What's your quick take on that? Give me your thoughts real quick.
We had a couple comments in our past video that says, why would you move a player like Laurie for multiple firsts? Because you don't know what's guaranteed in multiple firsts. Yeah. And I agree with that and I disagree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way that the Jazz build a team, and I think you actually commented back to this person and said, the only way that you actually build a team,
this team,
yes. The Utah Jazz that has no ability to recruit free agents, right? No one's coming here because they absolutely just want to come to Utah. It was a little bit different in previous years when we had stars like Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert. And this team was an actual destination, right? It actually was a few years ago. They were the best team in the NBA.
Yeah, we had Joe Johnson and some other players.
Players past their prime, but it was still talented guys that were willing to come give Salt Lake City a chance because they were a contender. Right now, we are nowhere near a contender.
Right.
B, we are not a dream destination. We are not LA, Boston, Miami. Nobody wants to move to Salt Lake City. I don't know why, but that's fine. Stay out.
We like it the way it is.
Yeah, we're good with that. But the only way that we have the ability to build a team is through the draft to get these guys, to lock them up early, to get them on a max contract, because the way the new CBA is structured, we can offer them more money than anybody else can because we drafted them.
Right.
That is something that the Utah Jazz have to use to their advantage to be successful in the future drafting players. I hate this trade. Keldon Johnson is a good player, and he is someone that would make the Jazz really terrible next year.
Which might be their goal.
But the problem is like we said in the previous video, and we just have to go back to it, you devalue every one of these picks because now San Antonio has a ridiculous team.
Oh yeah, they're a playoff team if they get Larry.
That is not going to be the bottom of the league.
Yeah. So that's going to be, those first round picks aren't going to be lottery picks, so it does not matter.
Exactly.
It does not matter. You have Wemby, and then you have Larry, and you have a nice young core. CP3 just signed a 1-year deal to be there.
And you still have one of the greatest head coaches on all time in Greg Popovich, who's going to absolutely coach basketball until he's 126 years old.
Yeah.
He'll be out there in a wheelchair coaching. I almost guarantee it.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's not coaching Team USA this year. I thought that was kind of weird.
I think he just wanted the summers off. He's too old for that. He's like 82 games is enough.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So yeah, no, I agree. I don't like the idea, but the fact that there's another team in the conversation when it comes to Larry Markkinen just is another thing to talk about there. And we heard some comments there like, oh, you guys are delusional if you think Larry Markkinen's going to get that many first round picks and that kind of talent. What did Mikal Bridges go for again?
Yeah, that was 5 firsts.
5 first round picks. And I believe he's ranked 50th in the NBA as far as the player power rankings.
Yeah.
He's ranked 50th, like 52, and Larry Markkinen is in like the 30s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Larry Markkinen can command 5 first round draft picks. If Mikal Bridges can get it, Larry Markkinen definitely
can. I sincerely don't think that Danny Ainge is giving him up for anything less than 5 firsts. But the fact is we need some of these firsts from other teams that are being transferred on it. You know what I mean? Like we need some picks that San Antonio has from a different team that isn't a potential playoff contender. So that is where you almost have to see the details of the trade. You know, where are these picks actually coming from? Like, is there any Chicago Bulls picks out there? I want some of those for next year.
Yeah, they'd have to be somebody else's team's picks because
Yeah.
that's what they have a lot of their picks. If they're San Antonio's picks, no, we don't want them for sure.
Especially if we trade Laurie to him.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and hit McKinley Coulter's comment here. Cutler. Sorry, I always say Coulter. I don't know why. I always say
you can't read. That's why.
That's probably why. Can you see back there? I think wanting. Sorry, can you read that?
I think they wanted Walker to get reps with what the Jazz view as the possible point guards of the future. Also, maybe to work in screens because he kind of sucks at them.
Fair point.
True. And he was better at screening when he had Mike Conley and they were running the pick and roll game together. He is not great at setting screens. And that is typically something that most players develop a couple years into their NBA career. Like if you watch early Rudy Gobert, his screens are terrible. He's always moving. He's always putting his elbow out and getting called for fouls. So yes, it is a skill that you pick up later into your NBA career.
Yeah, in all fairness, you're comparing Walker Kessler to a 3-time defensive player of the year when it comes to screens.
But I'm just saying early in their career, Rudy wasn't good at them either.
Yeah, well, I'm saying what people are thinking when it comes to that player. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You watch so many Rudy Gobert screens, like, man, this guy can
70
set a
years.
screen. Yeah.
So,
and you watch Walker and it's just like they just ran around him. Well, that was completely pointless. And now you're just completely out of position because you can't shoot it until you're 3 feet from the basket.
Yeah, 100% agree on that. Yeah, McKinley. Yeah, perfect point there for sure.
Love it. Keep him coming.
Yeah, keep him coming. I don't think that they're planning on moving Larry. I just think that they have a disconnection between Larry and his team about what he's capable of doing on this team.
Yeah,
they want him to be more of the same that he was with his rookie season. He sees him as being a corner 3 and D kind of guy. And I don't really think he falls into that.
Yeah, Walker has a different vision for the type of player that he thinks he is, and I think the Jazz think he has for him.
Yeah.
And that is really tough as a player and as a franchise to have different views and visions for what a player is going to be. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Walker because I could see them moving him because of how much young, talented, tall, athletic freak players that they have that really easily replace Walker Kessler.
Yeah, well, maybe when they have to pay him. That's what I'm thinking about. Because if you got a player,
he's on a rookie scale now. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you got him, you're going to put in against any elite bigs that he'll be able to defend against. And then you'll have, you'll put Filipowski against, when you go small because he's undersized for a center.
Yeah.
Not he's undersized. His wingspan is undersized for a center. Let me be clear.
T-Rex arms. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever see that Meet the Robinsons?
No.
Oh my gosh, great thing. He's like, I got a big head, little arms. I don't think this plan was thought through real. You've got a young kid. Trust me. Watch Meet the Robinsons. It's a great show. Anyway, but back to that. I'll not talk about the Larry Markkinen piece there. Mark Stein also states, this was just a few days ago, that the Warriors still want Markkinen, but they do not want to give up Podziemski. They have created basically an artificial trade deadline for the Jazz and the Warriors to make this trade, which is August 6th, when he's eligible for a contract extension. Because once they make that extension, he's no longer eligible until the trade deadline.
Correct.
So it's really like that day and then not until the next trade deadline. So basically what it is,
you have to extend him in the morning and then trade him in the afternoon.
Yes.
Because if he makes it through the day, he's not tradable for 6 months till the trade deadline's up, right?
Yeah. So I'm thinking that's a lot what this is. I think they, insiders like Mark Stein and other people with Shams Charania basically saying that the Jazz want Podziemski. The Warriors aren't willing to give up Podziemski. They've actually thrown in Kuminga and saying, okay, we'll give up the same.
Kuminga's really talented.
Yes, but is he, I don't know. I think I'd rather have Kuminga over Pajemski myself.
I think he's probably the more talented player with a higher ceiling, and he is on a little longer of a climb to hit his ceiling, where his timeline might match a little better with this Jazz team than.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't mind that trade, and I think what we're talking about, like I mentioned last week, that this might be a trade package that's being designed specifically for that time frame.
Right.
When he's signed his agreement, because you're not going to trade, if you're the Warriors, you're not going to trade him for a 1-year rental.
No,
you want him for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
you want him for the next 2 or 3 years while you still have.
You want him under contract,
Curry.
Yeah,
and or you can maximize his talent of his career there. So you're going to be trying to get the most out of him. So my guess is they're basically just negotiating on what's going to be included once the Jazz do extend and potentially trade him. I think that's a possibility. Not what I want to do, but I think that's also a possibility.
Yep, totally agree.
All right, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know what you think in regards to, how were the Utah Jazz's trade. Sorry, not the Utah Jazz trade deadline. Let us know what you think on the Utah Jazz Summer League, as far as any takeaways that you have when it comes to that. Also, let us know on the latest news about the San Antonio Spurs offer for Walker Kessler and the continuing negotiations between the Golden State Warriors for Walker Kessler as well. We'd love to hear from you.
For Walker Kessler?
Sorry, not Walker Kessler. For Larry Marketing. We'd love to hear from you. When it comes to that, also, folks, remember that this channel is where's my mouse go? There it is. So keep in mind, folks, we did launch our new channel called Utah Jazz DNA. If you're watching that on this channel, we greatly appreciate it. Thanks for finding this channel. Please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. We're going to be giving away one of those sweet new Utah Jazz black jerseys once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway, and also smash that like button. And if you are watching this on our main channel, Utah Jazz, on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, the channel will be linked in the description below. All right. So you want to talk a little bit about Major League Baseball?
Yeah, let's do it.
You don't think those fireworks are making it through the broadcast, do you?
They may.
They may be.
They may.
We got neighbors lighting off fireworks. So
jerks.
If you're from Utah, we just celebrated our Pioneer Day yesterday. What'd you do for Pioneer Day?
Sat at my house.
Nice. We did a family.
I did a video. I made a video yesterday. That's what I did. Check it out.
Check it out. On the latest on Utah.
I'm Rising.
That's right. Talking trash on BYU. Make sure you check it out. It's on the channel. Be sure to find it from our most recent video. Check it out. It's pretty good. But yeah, no, we had I did a pie and beer thing.
Oh, nice.
So we did root beer floats, and everybody brought over a pie of their choice, and we had with the family. So pie and beer.
Dude, nice.
Yeah, did it once before with beer and actual pie, but actual beer and pie. But we did it outside, and it got really nasty, and all the pies melted, so it was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was really cool to have the family out and enjoy a little bit of root beer floats and some delicious pies. That was fun.
Love it.
All right. So anyway, so that's a little bit of Utah history there for people who are watching outside the state. Let's go ahead and pivot on over to Major League Baseball, shall we?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. So let's first go ahead and talk about Dylan Cease, not to be confused with Dylan Crease, the all-time legend, Dylan Crease.
So funny, Darren.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're hilarious.
It's great. You gotta love autocorrect.
Everyone, please go watch the Dylan Cease video. Okay.
Yeah.
I did an awesome video on Dylan Cease when he signed with the Padres. Excellent. And like 4 people watched it.
Yeah.
Go watch the video. It's a good one. I put a lot of effort into that.
Honestly, I don't think unless it's like Fernando Tatis Jr., nobody watches Padres videos.
Why would you? They're the Padres.
Yeah, it's the Padres, the Royals, who else? The Braves. Nobody watches Braves content either.
Yeah, jerks.
And
it's because they're too busy watching. It's because they're too busy watching Braves baseball.
That's got to be it.
Yeah,
that's got to be it.
How are the Braves doing? They lost in 10
to the Mets.
Yeah,
really, dude, that's low.
That is low. That really
low.
Makes me angry. Actually.
By the way, for those of you watching live in the comments, can you guys drop us a line in the comments? Let us know if you're hearing those fireworks going off in the background. I need to know if we need to pay that close attention to the edit there. So let us know on the live stream if that is. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and do a mid-show cheers here.
Yes.
Mid-show cheers. Cheers to you.
Boom. Cheers to you, my friends.
I've already retapped there.
I know mine's getting a little watered down.
Yeah, you slowed your roll there for sure.
I had to.
AJ's going for his RN degree over there because he's nursing the shit out of that drink right there.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm now going to change the color so we can use that as an edit point. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Dylan Cease. Not to be confused with Dylan Crease, which is a MLB legend, according to AJ over there.
Yes.
Autocorrect is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
But anyway, so he threw a no-hitter yesterday.
Today.
Sorry, that was today. Sorry, at the time of recording, it would be today.
So we should probably just say Dylan Cease just threw a no-hitter.
Yeah, because who knows by the time this video actually goes out.
Yeah, it could be next week.
Who knows?
Just watch it anyway.
Yeah. Yes, let me know on that. Let me know, baseball fans out there. Let me know if you want to see the full video edit of the Major League Baseball down offense for the first half of the season. Let me know if that's something you actually want to see, because we did a great breakdown on that on an episode, and I just don't think that that's going to be a video that a lot of people are going to be interested in watching.
No, they're not.
If you're into like the stats, like me, then yeah, it's a great video. I thought it was an awesome article done by The Athletic, and we did a great video on it. I just don't know if it's going to be worth talking about, but yeah, anyway, so he throws a no-hitter no-hitter on 114 pitches, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks. What's your thought on your boy Dylan Cease over there?
Dude, this is absolutely crazy. Only the second one in Padres history.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Doesn't really surprise me.
Wow. But true. I don't know. No, it's super exciting.
Padres,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's super exciting.
They got their first no-hitter like last year.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago, legit. Yeah.
So it was not that big a deal.
I think it was 21 was their first one. The second one came 3 years later.
Yeah. So I mean, they've been known for great hitters. You got Tony Gwynn, and you got the team that was just completely killing balls last year. So they're not really known for pitching, except they have a great starting rotation for like the last 3 years. But yeah, great no-hitter, man.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
absolutely. Good for him. Absolutely earned it. He signed a really decent contract this year. Again, there's a video that we did when they signed him.
They extended him on the trade?
No, when they signed him, because they signed him this year.
Wasn't it a trade?
No, I thought he was was he traded?
I thought he was traded.
Oh, I was thinking that he was a free agent.
I could be wrong. He might have been traded.
Check out the previous video.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below. Watch our
which one
video,
it was. Yeah,
because we can't be bothered to actually check it out.
No
do the research. Screw that. But anyway, so what we wanted to do, folks, if you watched our video last week, we talked about how we want to talk about the trade deadline. So the trade deadline is actually a little earlier than it was last year. It's actually July 30th is the trade deadline this year.
Yep.
Which means I got to get this video edited and out quick.
Yeah.
But so what we decided in that video is we're actually going to be a little selfish. We're going to talk about what we believe our teams need when it comes to the trade deadline this year, which is talking about the Dodgers and the Braves. So
the Braves.
Why don't you go ahead and break it down for us real quick? Let us know what the Braves need to do at the deadline this year.
Okay, so the Braves, the deadline, just need to get healthy. Healthy. My gosh, we have been getting absolutely killed with injuries. But besides that,
wait, hang on. Let's break that down a little bit. Let's talk about their injuries. So they lost Ronald Acuna Jr. to that freak knee injury.
Yep. Spencer Strider
to Tommy John. And then you also had
Michael Harris Jr.
Your center fielder, right?
Yep.
And then you also had Ozzie Albies, your second baseman.
Ozzie Albies just got hurt too.
Yeah. So that's like 5 of your top best players. What didn't Austin Riley miss a whole bunch of times this year already?
Austin Riley, Travis Darno. Yeah.
He missed some time. That apostrophe messes with you.
Yeah, it does. I was just like, where does the R anyway? But yeah, Travis Darno missed some time. Like, just been getting killed with injuries. But what the Braves could really use, they need a solid hitting utility player. Their offense has really been struggling this year. We actually have had some pretty good pitching for the most part of the season. We've got obviously 3-4 guys that have been kind of playing out of their minds. They could really use a solid hitting utility player to cover second base while Albies obviously recovers. One guy that I really like that's kind of mentioned in a couple different articles is Ahmed Rosario from Tampa Bay. He'd probably be a pretty solid pickup to kind of cover second, and then he also will play some outfield as well. So they do need some outfield help. They're just pulling guys out of AAA to kind of help with that right now. We could use a solid actual outfielder for the Michael Harris Jr. injury. I do like Jazz Chisholm if they could make a trade for
Chisholm.
Jazz Chisholm out of Miami. He is a solid, obviously, outfielder. He can play 2 for Albies, and then he's also a good, base runner, MVP candidate potentially.
Stealing bases. That's all that matters. It's all that matters for sure.
So
yeah, I absolutely love it. I think that's great. So okay, I like it. Anything else you need on the Braves there?
No. I mean, we could use a little bit more, obviously, starting pitching.
No, you don't.
We
We talked about this on a previous
so much
episode. Check
starting
it down.
pitching.
Check in the comments down below. You have four
More
frontline aces.
Just more. Okay.
More on starting pitching later because that's definitely what I'm going to get into. But so I have. You want to know what my idea is for the Braves?
What?
They need to repeat what they did in 2001.
2001?
Sorry, 2021.
Okay.
2021. Sorry, I'm
Yes.
old, but I'll kind of
where they loaded up.
They load up on the best offensive talent available
Yes.
at the deadline, and they rode that SOB all the way to the end of the year.
Yep.
So they got.
And they have more pitching than they had then.
They have a lot more pitching now than they did then, for sure. So best available talent for the Braves right now is Luis Robert Jr. of the Chicago White Sox. I also have Jazz Chisholm down there as well. I'd also recommend the potential trade candidate of Isaac Paredes, which is the third baseman from Tampa Bay. You could slot him in at second base and then move Riley, or you can slot him at second base, or move Riley over to second base and slot him at third. You also, again, Jazz Chisholm is great. The reason why you don't want Jazz Chisholm, though, I'll tell you this, is he was the cover athlete of MLB The Show last year. And once you do that, that's basically you're done.
Game over.
You can't be on the cover and still be a good player.
Nope, it's impossible.
Ask Fernando Tatis Jr. He's gotten a platinum glove, but he's not recovered since he's been the cover athlete. So you don't want to be on MLB The Show and still be the cover athlete. But yeah, there's also more on that. I actually do have the perfect player for you guys to go after for the Braves, and he is an outfielder. He could also play some first base, which will allow you to move Matt Olson to third and then Riley to second, potentially. You have to let me know on this one. But I think the best option for the Braves to go after when it comes to an outfield and a power bat and a guy that's hitting for average right now, take a guess who I'm thinking of.
No idea.
Cody Bellinger.
Is he potentially available in the trade market?
Yeah, the Chicago Cubs are not going to win their division. They're not going to make they're not going to make it. He's on a 3-year opt-outs after the next 2 years. He's basically a $30 million player a year. But with the Braves and how they negotiate their contracts, that they definitely have room for him if he decides to opt in next year.
No, I love that. Actually,
you could put him at first, you could put him at third, you could put him at center field. He could play left or right. I think Cody Bellinger is the move you got to make there. I think that the Braves have the depth in the farm system to make it worthwhile for the.
Oh, they definitely do
for the Cubs for sure.
Yeah.
So that would be my key piece there. That I think there's a few outfield positions, a few infield positions, but I definitely think the one player that is a power bat that could do both is definitely going to be Cody Bellinger.
Love it. Make it happen, Braves.
All right, you heard it from us first here at the DNA Sports Recap. Atlanta Braves. We'll give you drop us a message in the comments there. We'll send you a bill for that one.
Yep, and it'll be cheap relatively.
So when you think about starting pitching, do you have anybody in mind? I don't really think you guys need starting pitching. Maybe some bullpen, but I think that would probably be it, right?
I mean, what about Tariq Skubal? Maybe he's available, man.
He might be available for sure.
Yeah,
but I don't think
he's under team control through 26.
Yep.
Right. The Tigers are obviously doing nothing with him. And the Braves do have, like you mentioned before, a ton of, the state of their farm system is fantastic. They've got a bunch of good talent in there that maybe Detroit looks to move away from having somebody now to having somebody in the future when they decide to make a move and put a team together.
Yeah, I was thinking when it comes to starting pitcher, I think Tanner Scott would be a better fit for you. Was a 2024 All-Star, posted an ERA. Actually, I believe he's a reliever. Yeah, I was thinking you guys needed a reliever more than a starting pitcher.
We could use a reliever.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking Tanner Scott. He has a 1.27 ERA with 16 saves. Yeah, he has a few too many walks, but you guys do have the defense. Well, not really because half your infield's gone, but I definitely think that
Correct.
the Marlins are definitely in everything must go type scenario right now, and I think Tanner Scott, which is a left-handed reliever, I think would be a good fit for what the Braves have there.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys need any starting pitching, to be honest with you. I think you guys are set. You have 4 frontline starters. They're all playing quite well. Aren't you getting one of them back too? I mean, Sale made the All-Star team.
Yeah. Sale is available still.
Morton's doing well.
Morton's doing well. Rosario? No, I think I just read that somewhere.
Edwin Rosario is one of the players you wanted to pick up.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can picture his face.
Who was not Strider because he's hurt. Who is the other guy? You have another pitcher.
Yeah.
Who is he? Driving me nuts. Driving me absolutely nuts. I don't know.
I'm obviously not a great Braves fan because I cannot think of his name either.
We should do that. We should definitely have like a Braves shout out, like not a Braves shout out, but like a fan shout out session where we invite people to come to the stream and basically talk about their team and do a rant.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that'd be fun. But anyway, so yeah, I think the best play for the Braves would definitely be to sign Cody Bellinger, to trade for Cody Bellinger, and also potentially look at.
Oh, you're thinking of Fried though, Max Fried.
Max Fried, that's who I was thinking about. Absolutely,
but he's actually injured.
What? When did that happen?
Yeah, he has forearm neuritis.
Oh, dude, that's like a precursor to TJ right there. Okay, so maybe then
the other one's Reynaldo Lopez.
Okay, yeah, so I think you're right. I think you definitely need to go after a starter. The Skubal would definitely be a good one. He's my frontline candidate for MVP. Sorry, not MVP, but Cy Young on the American League. So I think that's a good pickup.
Check out that video too.
Yep. It'll be linked in the comments down below. Check that out. So I definitely think that would be a good pickup there for you guys for sure. But yeah, we want to hear from you, Braves fans. Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know what you think. Are we off on our predictions here on what the Braves need to do in order to, revamp themselves? Go ahead and jump in the comments. Let us know what you think. What the Braves need to do in order to reset themselves and get back into contention for not only the wild card, but also try to make a run at the National League East over there for sure.
Yeah.
It's gotta be tough watching you lose games to the Mets. That's tough.
That is very painful. Very painful.
Could be worse. You could be losing series to a bottom team, which, we'll definitely talk about that next. So let's go ahead and talk about my Los Angeles Dodgers, shall we?
Yes, absolutely.
So what do the Los Angeles Dodgers need to do in order at this trade deadline in order to remove this team? I want to hear your side of that real quick. Go ahead. Do you have anything, or are you expecting me to cover that?
I was expecting you to cover that. I have not seen enough Dodgers baseball to know that.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and tap yourself off there with a little bit more of our
Darren.
Our all right whiskey right there. And we'll definitely cover that for sure. Let me take a quick sip and then we'll get into that.
I do appreciate you covering the Braves though.
Hey,
you did some research on my team and I let you down.
It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. So what the Dodgers need to do is squarely just one thing, man. There's only one thing and one thing only, and that is starting pitching. It's like literally all we got. That's all we need.
That's actually what I was going to say too, but I was like, maybe I'm just on a starting pitcher kick. I feel like everybody always needs starting pitching.
You can never have enough starting pitching.
You can never have enough starting pitching.
Yeah, I can't remember who said that, but someone said that going into spring training, if you have only 10 people that can potentially make the starting rotation, you just barely have enough. Because those players are not going to make it to the end of the season.
Yeah, no one. I mean, that's not enough people.
Yeah. So right now with the Dodgers, they do have a little bit coming back. We did get Tyler Glasnow back from his shoulder tightness.
That's good.
He pitched yesterday, had a good game. They did end up losing quite badly after he was pulled out, so the bullpen blew it for him. We just had Clayton Kershaw, Mr. Tony Crenshaw himself. True believer in Christianity over here. Tony Crenshaw did make his first start. He did since coming back. This is his first start of all the year, by the way. He has not been on the mound at all this year or in spring training. He went off-season shoulder surgery, first major surgery of his career at age 34.
Which is pretty impressive.
Which is impressive for longevity, especially when he had an arm that was used that much over the early 2010s. So that's impressive. But he went 4 innings. I think he fanned 6 Ks. Gave up 2 earned runs, but definitely a good jump there for him for sure. So we are getting talent back. You're also going to see Bobby Miller come back as a starting pitcher. But right now we have a lot. We're relying way too much on rookie pitchers, and basically hoping that Tyler Glasnow can go way beyond his career max in innings pitched. So
right.
we definitely need starting pitchers. And so what we're looking at as far as the Dodgers go is starting pitchers. We're looking at, my first choice would be Garrett Crochet. Garrett Crochet is a left-handed pitcher from the Chicago White Sox. He originally started off as a bullpen arm and then made his transition to the starting rotation this year. He does have a 35% K rate and less than a 5% walk rate through his first 20 starts, which basically means he's attacking hitters. He has a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. His cutters in the upper 90s, his sweepers in the mid 80s, and he has a nice firm change that just basically drops off the table. He already had Tommy John in 2022, which basically makes him kind of have like a kind of an innings limit type thing going on now. But I definitely think that he's going to be a good trade and sign candidate for the Dodgers this year. Tarek Skubal would definitely be one I'd also look at.
I like the Crochet signing though. I mean, he's under team control through 26 too. And even though he does have some obviously workload concerns, because of that surgery, I mean, again, though, the Dodgers are kind of in the same situations with a fantastic farm system that they could make a really good offer to Chicago to potentially get a Garrett Crochet under contract.
Yeah, we have one of the top 5 farm systems in baseball right now.
Absolutely,
so, which is funny considering the team they have,
the team they have and a farm system. It's like cheaters.
Yes, full of bit of riches there for the Dodgers for sure. When it comes to the starting pitching, though, I also really like the idea of potentially trading for Tarek Skubal, but I do think that he's going to demand a lot. But you also have Jack Flaherty, who's on a 1-year deal with the Detroit Tigers. While he hasn't done well, he's got a 6.75 ERA in 34 innings with the Detroit Tigers. That was traded from St. Louis last year. The talented left-hander is probably can, like, he comes over to the Dodgers. They'll work with him. They'll adjust some stuff and get him, like, limit down his number of pitches that he's throwing.
Yeah.
So I think Jack Flaherty could be an option there as well. But
especially 120 strikeouts to only 17 walks in 102/3 innings is absolutely fantastic on Flaherty.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
and the one pitcher I think that they do need to sign in order to bolster their bullpen, because their bullpen's been like a revolving door right now, is going to be, I talked about it last week, Mason Miller from the Oakland A's.
Yes.
The fireballer who just turned 26 in August emerged as a rookie phenom.
Such a stud, dude.
Guy throws 101 miles an hour. He can touch 104. He has a deadly upper 80 slider. Can you imagine that? You throw a slider at 80 miles an hour, and then you throw a fastball at 104 miles an hour. Good luck.
That is brutal.
Yeah.
There is just you already only have like 0.3 of a second to react.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw your timing off another 1/10 of a second with 80 miles an hour. It's like, no chance, dude. You're going to be way out ahead of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to be flailing on it. It's what you call doors right there.
That's how you get swords.
Yeah. No, swords is a check swing.
Well, I know.
Doors is when you swing fluid and you fall over.
But that's the problem, is you're going to be swording because You know what I mean? You're going to think it's coming. You're like, oh, no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It makes sense. But when it comes to, there's a lot of talk about the Dodgers needing some outfield depth as well. Yeah. And the key one they've been involved with a lot of talks is with the Tampa Bay Rays, and that is Randy Arozarena.
Yeah.
We talked about this guy a lot during the MLB.
MLB
trade deadline. Not the MLB. The MLB. What was it? The World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
How he played for Mexico. He's from Cuba, but he played for Team Mexico. Has citizenship down there.
Yeah.
This guy was he's a postseason juggernaut, this guy. As a rookie, he posted, like, he wasn't even technically a qualified rookie. He just made the team because he didn't have enough service time his rookie year. But in the 2020 World Series, he broke the record for how many RBIs, hits, and runs scored for a rookie in the World Series.
Right.
So he's got the postseason pedigree. He has had a down year this year.
Yeah, having the worst statistical year of his career this year.
Yeah, but he's playing for the Rays right now.
Tough to have a good statistical year when you're playing for the Rays.
When they don't have a shot at sniffing the playoffs right now.
And under team control through 26 too.
Yeah, so you have to give up a little
promising contract. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to give up a little bit for him, but I definitely think he's worth it.
But at least he's not a 1-year rental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not someone you're just bringing in to temporarily fix something. If he can come in and actually help your team win, he could help you to win for a couple of years.
Yeah, but the Dodgers really have the outfield kind of set though. So I'm not really sure if that's really what you need. You really need like a third baseman for the Dodgers, I think.
Right.
But I don't really know who you'd get that would make sense, because you got Max Muncy, who's going to come back at some point. and then that's really his spot because you can't put him at first because that's where Freddie is. And then you also have, what are you going to do? DH him? Sorry, that's Ohtani.
Yeah, you're definitely not DHing him.
No, so you're kind of like, what are we going to do? By the way, did you see what Ohtani did at Dodger Stadium? So he hit one into.
I did see this.
Yeah, 470.
He hit it all the way out of the stadium.
Yeah, technically not out of the stadium, because in Dodger, in when it comes to Dodgerdom, you actually have to hit it over the bezels there, the sun covers. You technically have to hit it over that for Dodgers to consider it being out of the stadium, not just outside of the seats, which was where he hit it. He hit it
over the seats. Yeah.
He hit it over the seats into the enclave there. So somebody's trying to get a snow cone, just got freaking pebbled by a freaking baseball. He hit it like 474 feet. So yeah, practically out of the stadium. Yes, but yeah, it was pretty impressive for sure. But anyway, when it comes to the Dodgers, they need starting pitching. I do want them to go after Garrett Crochet, potentially Jack Flaherty as kind of like a budget rental option. I also like Turk Skubal. I think he has a higher upside versus that. But like I said, I think that would be a better fit for the Braves there. But that's my take on what the Dodgers need in order to make it to the what the deadlines they need to make for sure. Trade acquisitions. I believe we got a comment there from Tammy that says, would like to trade for who would you trade for these guys? My guess is Taylor. Yes, Chris Taylor, CT3, Sir Cares a Lot is what we call him in my family, is got to have one of the worst seasons of his career right now. I don't really know how much trade value he has because he's underneath team control for another 2 years where we actually paid him a little bit of money. I would definitely, when it comes to this, it would be pretty simple. I would definitely trade him. I would definitely include maybe I would go with either Stone. His name, I think it's Stone. I'd also possibly include Landon Knack, who's a great starting pitcher as well. We have in our farm system, and you also have what's his name? The Diego Cartaya. Yeah, Diego Cartaya, our top-rated catcher prospect there. So. And you also have some other awesome options we have down there in AAA that would definitely be able to fit in there. I definitely would not include River Ryan. I definitely would not include Gavin Stone. I definitely would not include Gavin Stone. It would be definitely either Landon Knack, Diego Cartaya, and we've got some other options down there, I think. But that would be who I would trade, as well as Chris Taylor and potentially I'd also include Miguel Vargas as well in those trades. Great question, Tammy. Appreciate it. Those are some options for sure. They still have some upside there. The problem with the Dodgers is they have a problem to hold on to prospects too long. When you have a bunch of prospects that are hitting 23, 24 years old, it's, I'm very much
pull the plug.
Yeah, I'm a parades over prospect type guy.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to turn into Cody Bellinger or Corey Seager. And by the way, neither of them are on team right now. So go ahead and, move on from them for sure. Not Kike. Is that what that says?
Yep.
No, definitely not Kike.
Yeah. Congrats, Kike.
By the way, we definitely need to talk about that. Congrats to Kike Hernandez. He officially made 10 years of service in Major League Baseball. So Kike, friend of the channel, not necessarily a friend of ours. Like, he doesn't know who we are, but we do talk about him a lot. Kike Hernandez. I believe the first time he was mentioned on this channel was a dig. By the way, he played shortstop today, by the way.
How'd he do?
I was nervous. No errors.
Oh, that's a plus.
Errors. I think he was 2 for 3 batting. He drove in 2 RBI. So,
hey, that's a win.
Yeah.
That's a win.
So we love Kike here. His wife put on a 10 years celebration there. When you hit 10 years of service time, that makes you eligible for a bunch of retirement benefits and stuff like that. So you make 10 years of service time. So congrats to Kike Hernandez for making that. He started with the Florida Marlins, was traded to the Dodgers, spent a good 3 or 4 or 5 seasons here with the Dodgers, spent a couple of years with the Red Sox, then came back to the Dodgers for the last 2 years. And he's definitely filling his role, man. He's a specialty against left-handed hitting, and he's got postseason pedigree, which, with the Red Sox, you're not getting anywhere near the postseason. Sorry. But
yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. So great to have him for sure. Definitely not Kike Hernandez. He's going to be one that we keep for a while, for sure. But anyway, you got anything else on Major League Baseball?
I do not, my friend.
All right. Well, once again, folks, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below. If your team is not the Dodgers or the Braves, we'd love to hear from you on what you think they need in order to have a successful trade deadline. which is going to be coming up here on the 30th. So we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below on that for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
And once again, folks, as far as that goes, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you have not yet, smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're getting so close. Stay with us. Stay with us.
For sure.
Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube on one of the short videos, make sure you know this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio only.
Absolutely. With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.
And once again, folks, we really appreciate you joining us there on the live broadcast of this show. We appreciate you guys showing up every week. Let's go ahead and have a post-show cheers for those folks that are
show
for tuning in and commenting. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. It made the show so much more enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. We love to hear from you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. See you too, man. Appreciate it. Thanks again. Appreciate it, McKinney, for sure. See you then.